Welcome to Flinda Tech Lab. This is a free course by the YouTube algorithm. Please comment, like, share and subscribe to the channel in helping to create more of these kind of tutorials. Just sit back, relax and enjoy the training. Let's dive into the tutorial. Our lesson for today is what's called Microsoft Excel, also known as electronic spreadsheets. We can also call it Excel. When we are talking about Excel, Excel is also one of the great applications that is being used, especially for those calculations aspects dealing with graph, and it is being used a lot in the financial sectors. Statistics and scientists also use it more often. So when we are talking about Excel, electronic spreadsheets, for its introduction to Excel, spreadsheet is an electronic worksheet that is a table used to organize, manipulate numbers, and analyze them. That is the main concept and the work of what spreadsheet. So spreadsheet program is used to prepare balance sheets, sales, projections, expense, that is to expense budgets, and also stock tracking, etc. These are some of the things that we use the electronic spreadsheet or Excel for. So as you do more research about it, you see some of the there are other things that we use Excel also for. So these are the concepts that I want you to understand over here. That it is an electronic worksheet that's in the form of a table used to organize, manipulate numbers, and analyze them. So we just give example of some of the work that it is being used for, about 5 of them. You can get more than this. Then also, person who use spreadsheets are financial analysts, accountants. Then we have contractors, examiners, scientists, mathematicians, weather forecasters, etc. These people all use Microsoft Word, Excel, or they use Excel. That is the electronic spreadsheet. When I talk about the electronic spreadsheet itself, which Excel is under it, they use it to what? To do their day-to-day or to help them to be able to what? To make their work easy at their department. So you should take note of when you are working in any of these fields, you should know that Excel is one of the tools that can help you to be able to do your work easy as well. Now we have some features of Microsoft Excel. These are some of the things that you need to know before as you'll be coming to across some of these features. So it will be good that you know what those features are, what their functions are, and when anytime that they pop up, what does it mean to you? So as soon as you know what they are, anytime they pop up, you know what the system is asking or what the application is demanding for. Now we have first one, which is called cell. In table, Microsoft will talk about table. This is also similar to that in the form of a cell. The cell is a box. That is one of the boxes, or is a single unit. And you're going to see in Excel, you're going to see boxes. So one of it is what we call a cell. So is the space created by the intersection of horizontal rows and vertical column. That is what is made out of for the cell. And it contains a label, that is text or value with a number or a formula. So you take note of that. So that is what we call Excel. So when we dive into the practical aspect, you'll be seeing what we are talking about the cell. You are going to see how they look like. Then also column. That's what we call where the column is. For the column is the vertical block of a cell in the worksheet, identified by what alphabets. So when you look, we have what we say what a cell is. So as for the cell, that one is in the form of a box, but for the column is the space that is being provided from the top to the down. Then you enter information. That is what we call column, and that one is being identified by, you see the alphabet within those spaces from top to the bottom. That is what we call the columns. Then we have what we call we have row, and row are also spaces provided from the left side to the right side, and it is being also identified by what numbers. So we say rows are the horizontal block of a cell in a worksheet identified by what numbers. So you see that they are it's a space right that is being provided from the left side to the right side. That also we enter information into them. But in them you will see a number at the left side which starts from its beginning. So you see those 1, 2, 3 in that order. But for the columns, you see A, B, C, D at the top of the columns. Then we have what we call graph. We have what we call graph. Graph, that is the visual representation or range of data in a worksheet. It's also called a chart. So when you're talking about graph, you can design you can plot any start with a report to check how the frequency, or maybe and you can use it in the form of a bar chart. So these are some of the things that you can use Excel for. So you'll be coming to across what the graph are, and under you have what we call some of those charts that are the bar chart, histogram, and those things that you can use to represent a particular frequency or start or information that you gather to see the rate at which it is either progressing or reducing. So you take note of these terms that are here, because you'll be meeting them a lot in the field of Excel. And we also have what we call a worksheet. A worksheet is a file which your work and store sheets created in Excel. So where you do your works, where you are to enter your informations and those things, that particular sheet is what we call a worksheet. We are going to see either the latest version you only see only one sheet, you have to create additional one. But for the lower versions, by default you have to see 3 of the sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. So that is what we call the worksheet. Then we also have what we call the workbook. The workbook is the rectangular grid or row and columns used to enter what the data. So the workbook provides you those informations that you enter those informations into. So you'll be seeing what workbooks are and worksheets also what they are. So within it also, within the workbook also, you can see that all the sheets that have been created, you see those same information that is inside. So take note, that is the rectangular grid or row and columns used to enter your data. That is what we call the workbook. But the sheet itself is the whole page that is containing all those informations. That is what we call the worksheet. Now, another features also that you'll be seeing is cell address. We have what we call the cell address. You see something like the cell name. So when you're talking about the cell address, is the location of each cell within the worksheet. It is made up of an address that is fixed and does not change when it is copied. That is what we call the cell address. So you come across some of these things. Whenever those cell addresses they are fixed, they don't change. So when you copy their informations, the number still maintain or it still be of that the same how it was. Then we also have the absolute address. The absolute address is a cell in which a formula is contained and copied when and changed when copied. So for the absolute address is a cell that when you enter a formula and that formula is being contained, or the cell is containing the formula, when you copy it to a different location, it changes when copied. So it look at the particular information and the kind of cells where it is being placed and use that particular site to work on your new corporate information. So we say it's a cell in which a formula is contained and changed when copied. That is the difference between that one and the cell address. So for the cell address, that one it is fixed, but this one it is what change. Take note of that. Then we also have what we call title. This one is not a title bar itself, but when you are dealing with chat, we have a title for the chat. So this is what the title in Excel is what is let me put it this way. When you're talking about we have what we call a title bar, but this one is just a title, not a title bar. So this title that we are talking about is referring to a chart. When you have a bar chart, you have to give a title to it. So it's a descriptive text which is used to explain the content of the chart. So like as I said, if it is a pie chart, you put a title, that is the title that we are talking about here. Then we also have the legend. The legend is a key used to explain a chart. So we put in some key information when you use different colors to identify maybe a group of things that you use for your pie chart or your histogram or your bar chart. What's the kind of things that you use? You have to use the key, which is the legend, to explain that so that any your audience or any person that take your document will identify what type of information is this that is from the chart. So take note of that. Then we also have what we call the formulas or the formula. It's an equation that performs operations on a that's a worksheet for data. So we especially in Microsoft Excel, we do a lot of calculations over there. So to go with those operations, we call them what we are entering formula. So entering a formula, and it is an equation that performs operations on a worksheet data. So take note of that. Now, this is one of the key things that you have to take note also about, which is some common syntax one is likely to meet in Excel, and it is something you'll be meeting as you are going to deal more into Excel. So let's see what they are. When this sign appear in Excel, or when this sign appear in a cell, in the course of your work, don't be alarmed. This is what each of them stand for. This is what each of them stand for. So anytime that any of these information that is below pop up in any of your cells, don't be alarmed. So this is the brief of information about them, what they are mean, the signs and their answers of what they mean. So if you are able to understand or to identify those symbols or signs that are there and their meaning, when it pop up, then you know the solution to them. So let's go to the first one, which is the hash. You see that we have plenty hash. Sometimes you see this plenty hash. It will fill your cell for you. This means that the data is more than the cell. So when you have a number that is a long number, plenty, like especially you are trying to divide something and it is 72.66677 and it continue along and it can't go inside there. So meaning the space that is there is too small for that particular number. And what do you need to do? You need to resize or to expand the cell so that it will be big, so that the text, as soon as you expand it, now you see the numbers will pop up. But if you don't expand it and it is small, since the number is longer than the size of the cell, it will tend to hash, and that is the meaning of it. So as soon as you expand it, the figures will change. This symbol will change to the figures that are there. Then we have the second bullet, that is the hash dv/0. This means that you have tried, meaning you have tried to divide a number by 0. You are trying to divide a number by 0. You are using 0 to divide a number, and that is the error that it will give to you. Or maybe when you are trying to divide by using a cell name, the cell name that you want to use to divide, maybe there's nothing over there, and the other one there is some figure into it, the machine will give you error because the other one, if there's nothing over there, meaning that is zero. So you take note of that. Then we have the next one, which is the hash n/a. The answer or the information required is not available. That's what it means. Meaning the answer you are looking for or information required is not available. So meaning you enter some wrong information and it will not be able to get you that answer that you are looking for. So you have to go and check your formula again to see what is the problem. Then you can redo your correction. So you take note. So far it says not available, meaning it is something that you are not supposed to enter, and you've entered over it, so it will not be able to give you an answer for that. Then we also have the next one, which is the hash sign and the name. Meaning here it says what Excel program does not understand the reference in the cell. So if you put in any strange thing that is not part of the formulas and you put it over there, the machine will bring that this sign, and that is the meaning of it. It does not, so Excel does not understand the reference in the cell, so you take note of that. Then you also see what you call the hash and the num, meaning that is the number, num. Excel does not understand the reference in the cell also, so this one is similar to the first one. The number, maybe you put in some number which you are trying to divide something with some number, and the division, the formula you place over there is not existing. So meaning since the machine does not understand what you are trying to execute, or you want it to execute for you, to just bring those signs. So you have to go and check and watch your formula and the numbers you enter that. Is this something that is supposed to be applied within Excel? Then if it is so, you check it well and do the correction. So we have the last one, which is the n, the hash, the none, meaning this shows that the formula can't be solved. Maybe the formula include a delete cell. So maybe after you entering the information in one particular cell that is there, you delete that cell, you are going to get this sign over there. That is the reason why if before you delete, you check whether that cell is not having any available information. Or maybe after you entering the information in the formula, you have the correct answer. Then later you want to delete that particular cell. Since that particular cell is off, the formula there is still there. So it will change, the formula will change into this particular sign. And it will give you an information that this shows that the formula cannot be solved. Meaning the formula and enter cannot be solved, or what is supposed to use to resolve one of the aspects is being deleted. So you have to go and question whether we have deleted one particular list. That's why I had this information. So you take note of. These are some of the things that you'll be seeing inside your cell, because Excel is about calculation, you dealing with formulas, and you'll be meeting this kind of signs. So when you understand and you memorize them and they are in your head, anytime that it pop up, you know what the meaning and the solution to them, then you are good to go. So you take note about all these signs and the answers attached to them. Now let's dive into the practical aspects and see how what we just talked about and the advanced things. There are some things that we even didn't talk about over there. As we are going through the practical aspects, you will see how it works and how you go about it, and the copying of them and how the formulas are being entered, and the type of formulas that we need and the type of formulas that we use. So now let's dive into the practical and see how the practical works. I hope you find this tutorial helpful and see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.